If you run an MSP, you'll know it's really hard to have your cake and eat it. To grow your MSP, you want to get inside the mind of your prospects to work out why they might or might not choose you. But if that's not hard enough, you also need to focus your energy on running your business. If you're finding that balance hard, well, you can cheat. This short video will take you inside the mind of a potential client, showing you the ingredients for getting that next sweet deal. Before any of that can happen, do some research into your prospect's background. Let's introduce you to a guy who'll soon be choosing his next IT support company. Colin is a hard-working entrepreneur. He started in his parents' kitchen when he was young, and now, a few years later, is the proud owner of Colin's Cupcakes, creating real treats for real men. It's a slightly unusual but lucrative niche. He's now got a team of around 20 selling cupcakes to firemen, lumberjacks, hairy bikers, you name it. Now, his growth hasn't come without its challenges. The actual baking, he had that nailed a long time ago. It's all the other stuff. The marketing, the billing, the payroll, and it's the technology that powers it all that's caused the most stress. When he first started up, Colin just went for the cheapest IT company he could find. But then there was that time his business got malware. Rather than being offline for a few hours, they couldn't use their PCs for nearly a week. Then there was the hard drive that failed, losing countless recipes and edible print designs. I know, a great MSP like yours would have insisted they were protected with a decent backup. To make matters worse, Colin is desperate to start spending more time with his family. So he can afford to work less, he needs to start selling franchises. It's just, he feels the technology is holding him back. And sadly, he's about to experience the final straw. On the surface, this is great news. A nationwide chain of hardware stores are interested in ordering 10,000 cupcakes a week. They say their customers would love nothing more than nibbling on a fondant fancy while browsing their range of foam fillers. This could be the deal to kickstart his franchise dream. The day of the pitch meeting arrives. Colin has personally baked a batch of 20 delicious sample cakes to take with him. He just needs to print the designs onto the icing with edible ink. But disaster! The printer isn't working. They don't know if it's the printer itself or the network that connects it all together. Feeling sick to his stomach, Colin leaves for the meeting carrying a box of unfinished cupcakes. A few days later, the hardware chain gets back in touch to let Colin know, despite the frosting fiasco, he's been awarded the contract. They bought into Colin's passion for patisserie, and now the clock is ticking until the first shipment, and everything needs to be absolutely problem-free. This is it. Colin knows that now is the time to get better IT support. From printing and packing to delivery and billing, he's going to have to rely on his technology more than ever. But who's going to get the work of looking after it? Will it be that small company Dial-Up Doctors, run by that old guy who loves nothing more than tinkering with broken computers and reminiscing about the days of valves and floppy disks? Colin doesn't know if he's even still in business. There's an old website from 2015, but it looks rubbish and the contact form doesn't work. Or will it be that corporate giant of an IT company, Xanadu 3000, with a head office in another city? They're obviously a big deal. They can afford to sponsor a stand at the local sports stadium and pay to be at the top of Google Ads. The website, though, looks kinda standoffish, and Colin's never heard from any of the 500 members of staff who have their photos on it. But this is weird. Somehow, Colin isn't feeling stressed or indecisive about it. Yes, there's a lot riding on the deal with the hardware chain. Stability for his team, time with his family, and dreams of expansion. And he's got to find the right technology partner to help make it all happen. Without really knowing it, Colin had made up his mind months before. Dial-Up Doctors and Xanadu 3000 never stood a chance. But how come? You see, there was a guy who knew the rich pickings were in those slow, long-baked relationships. The main man from Ivan Computers entered Colin's life about 18 months before. Not in a major way, just into his awareness. They connected on LinkedIn, and Ivan shared a couple of tech guides that he thought Colin might find handy. He did. They were cool and helped him to make sense of things like cloud backups and encryption. Soon after connecting, he remembered getting a friendly courtesy call from Ivan himself. There was no selling, just putting a face to the name, and he asked if he minded getting the odd email. Those emails were great. Each one helped him understand the world of tech just a little bit more and seemed written by an actual human. One time, Colin actually clicked through to Ivan's website and was impressed by even more straight-talking, friendly-looking pictures of Ivan and a video filmed by a satisfied customer. Not that it mattered, but Colin assumed that Ivan wasn't a one-man band because of the high quality of the communication. Like him, he was a hard-working guy, so confident in his business's level of service and support, he put his name to it. Colin respected that. So when that printing disaster coincided with one of Ivan's courtesy calls, Colin just said, "Look, it doesn't really matter how much you charge because either way, you've got my business." Colin's Cupcakes is now delighting butch, bearded home renovation enthusiasts right across the land. They've since launched a very successful franchise program, and the expansion means he can afford to take more time off and spend it with his family. So here are 3 important points for you and your MSP. Firstly, do you think you could beat the competition by playing the sweet long game? Combine that with a focus on technology's benefits, not the features, and the rewards will be delicious. Then, if you'd like help with all the content and tactics to create a regular marketing system, get your membership to the MSP Marketing Edge, and the link is in the description below. Lastly, did you know that if you subscribe to my channel or watch another helpful MSP growth video, you get a free cupcake? Terms and conditions apply, which are as follows.